Squinting. All right,
Fair enough. Better, is it?
Yeah.
How's Middleton?
Hi, everybody. Sorry for keeping you waiting.
Happy?
Okay. Yeah.
Mr. Master, first, I suppose the ploughing championship. I mean, how important an event is this in terms of the industry?
That's a hugely important event. I mean, this is by far the biggest event in the agriculture and agri-food calendar each year. There'll be well over 100,000 people visiting the ploughing championships again this year. And it'll be an expression of all that is good and strong and growing and optimistic about Irish agriculture. Because even though we've been through some difficult years, where we've had to deal with a horse meat crisis, we've had to deal with a fodder crisis, we've had to deal with a really difficult autumn and winter and spring last year. Agriculture is still growing. You know, our agri-food exports are still increasing. Luckily, we've had a very good summer this year, which has allowed a lot of farmers to catch up somewhat. But I'd be very optimistic, given the CAP reform agreement that we now have, that agriculture and the agri-food industry in Ireland can continue to grow and expand. And in many ways, the ploughing match, as it's called by farmers, is a time of year when the agricultural community and all of the industries that are linked to it come together, do business, enjoy themselves, and, as I say, celebrate all that is good and strong about Irish agriculture.
It's been such a bad year, Minister, that some farmers are saying you couldn't possibly go ahead with proposals to get that €1.4 million in overpayments back from farmers in their payments this autumn. They're saying you should scrap that now, that it wasn't their fault in the first place.
Well, I mean, lots of them aren't saying that, actually. Some of them may be saying it, but I mean, this isn't a choice that I have. If farmers were paid for land that wasn't eligible for payments, well, then we have to get that money back. Otherwise, we get fined by the European Commission. I mean, this is public money. This is EU money. If it was drawn down on land that isn't eligible for payments, well, then we have to ask for it back. Of course we do. That's how the rules work. You know, Ireland draws down in terms of direct payments over 1.2 billion euros for its 130,000 farm families each year. It's my job to make sure that that's done efficiently, done fairly, that the people who are eligible get paid on the land that is eligible. And if some of that land isn't eligible, well, then there are consequences to that, and we need to claw back some of that money. But
what about the timing?
But the average clawback is very much in the hundreds, not in the thousands for farmers.
What about the timing? They're saying there's going to be reductions as a result of the budget, and they're expecting them in the second payment. So they're going to have reductions in the first payment as well. Can you not phase them over a period of time?
So which first payment?
When they get their first payment back for single farm payments, when they come to, they're expecting the reduction in their first payment of the year. They're saying there'll be reductions on farming in general as a result of the budget coming in later in the year after the budget.
Well, I think you're confusing a number of things. First of all, we have applied for an early advance payments on single farm payments to improve cash flow for farmers in the autumn. I'm hopeful that we'll get that, and that we'll be able to pay out payments 6 weeks earlier than we otherwise would be able to make payments. And then that'll be a significant payment, and then the final payment in terms of single farm payment will be happening as usual in December. So we hope to be able to get that advance payment approved in the next number of weeks. But you know, under the new Common Agricultural Policy and under the new EU budget, there is going to be a slight reduction in single farm payment of about 3% for every month. But it's up to me to ensure that we use the money that we do have available to us in national budgets and in EU money to make sure that we get full value for that, and that we support the sectors in farming that need support, and that we help farmers get more from the marketplace, because ultimately that's what this is about. So while we have had a difficult year, we also have a lot of positives in farming at the moment. Milk price is strong and staying strong. Beef prices have been very strong this year and staying strong. Lamb prices have also been improving, and we are opening up new markets all the time outside of Ireland. So this as an industry is strong and growing, even though we have had some difficult challenges this year that we've had to overcome.
Minister, when do you expect the final decisions to be made on the new cap? Will coupling be an element of it, and will there be national financing to draw down the funds necessary?
Yeah, well, first of all, there will be national financing to draw down the funds necessary, or the funds that are available. But we have a lot of strategic decisions to make now. One of the targets that I had during the CAP negotiations was to get flexibility so that Ireland could design its own CAP system to suit our ambitions for agriculture, our Food Harvest 2020 plans for growth and expansion, and also to ensure that we could support vulnerable sectors in Ireland that need supports to survive in farming. We are now designing that CAP that new CAP system, we went to public consultation to ask farming organisations for their views, and we're getting that feedback back now. And so in the next number of months we'll finalise all of those decisions on everything from young farmers to coupling to a redistribution of payments, to whether there'll be a cap or whether there'll be a floor, and all of the other things.
Are you coming down in favour of coupling on the suckler herd?
You'd have to wait and see, I'm afraid.
Minister, could I just briefly ask you, just on the death of the journalist Sean McConnell, you obviously done an awful lot to highlight key issues in the agriculture over the years.
Yeah, no, I was really sad to hear of Sean's death, and I'm sure his family are shocked. A lot of his friends are. He had a lot of friends in the Department of Agriculture. He was one of the best agri-journalists that we've worked with. He gave very straight and honest coverage of an industry that was growing in the midst of recession, but also asked the hard questions of me when it was appropriate. So, I spoke to him a lot before he retired, and like everybody else, I expected him to be able to enjoy a lengthy retirement, and tragically, he's died at the age of 66, which is far too early. So my thoughts are with his family, but he has left a lasting legacy in agriculture because of the way he covered agriculture and because of the character that he was hugely popular.
Thank you.